Hello friends, and welcome back to the horror section. This is going to be a rare movies video, so here we go. First up, I have a movie called Martin. This is George A. Romero's Martin, just kind of an odd vampire movie. It's pretty cool. You know, it's like this kid that has no vampire powers and all this stuff, but he still wants blood, and he's got to figure out a way of getting it. It's just like an oddball kind of funny, silly, kind of fun vampire movie. I enjoy it pretty good. It's been so long since I've seen it. I remember it was kind of cool and kind of quirky like, and I thought it was pretty cool. But I like it pretty neat. I like it pretty good. And this is a Lionsgate right here. And I put this one on there because my good friend, the horror man, he showed this one. Of course, he had the Anchor Bay one. I don't have the Anchor Bay. I just have the Lionsgate. But still, you know, it's still pretty cool. But this is George A. Romero's Martin. Like I said, it's a fun movie. If you can find it, I'd definitely pick it up. But it's kind of hard to find now. But you can probably still find, you know, copies of it if you look, you know. It's one of those you kind of stumble across. I've actually got 2 copies of this. This one's like the best condition one. The other one's a little messed up, but if I find a rare one like this, I'll go ahead and grab it because it's hard to find, you know. I found one of these at Hastings when they went out of business, and then I found one like at a pawn shop or something. So I grabbed both of them. Like I said, the other one's not in this good a shape, though. So I figured I'd show the one that's a little better. But that's George A. Romero's Martin. A fun vampire movie. It's kind of a cool concept of a vampire. Pretty neat. And here's one that a lot of people like. Stephen King's The Night Flyer. Evil has a flight plan. I like it pretty good. Pretty much just a bunch of murders happen at these airports and stuff. And this one guy wants to, you know, get the story in, and he figures it's just some kind of serial killer, you know, going around doing it. And as he investigates, he figures out there's a little more to the to the murders than he thinks there is. So, as you can tell by the cover, there's a lot more to the murders than he thinks it is. But still, it's a pretty fun little movie. And it's one of those ones like this, the ones where they open up like that. I don't mind these too bad, but like I said, I don't like them because if the paper ever gets wore out, because it's just paper, if it ever gets wore out, then you're kind of, you know, the case is messed up and you can't really fix it. You know, I'd rather have like a regular case to it than like if it does, like if your case gets ripped or something, just the plastic, you can take it out and put it in another case. But see, when it gets stuff like this, it's just the paper is. And a lot of times, this one's actually in good shape. I think I got this one at Hastings. A lot of times, where they start to bend right there, they get little rips in them. Like where that one's bent a little bit, it's already got a little white. Because if you don't take good care of them, these right here can come apart. There's even a little bit of a scar right there where somebody's rubbed something across it. But I'm not complaining too much. I at least got it, but I wish they would have made these in more of the plastic cases, but they're still kind of cool. You can see down there's a little bit of wear, but like I said, as long as I got it, I don't mind. It's a fun movie. Pretty cool. Stephen King's The Night Flyer, that big scary creature up there. Pretty fun little movie. And here's one, Amityville, It's About Time. And by that, what do you think this movie could be about? It's about time. Well, it's about a clock that I think it up here, it says an architect, he finds it in the rubble of an Amityville construction project, and I guess he takes it home, and the Amityville curse is on it. So pretty much, you know what happens when you go into the Amityville house. Well, if you bring the clock home, I guess that happens to your house. So it was a pretty fun. I watched it and it was entertaining. It wasn't nothing special, but I wasn't going to say it was bad. It just wasn't that great to me. Like I said, it was a alright movie. And it's kind of hard to get, I guess, now. But you can see here it was actually a Hastings rental, which was a kind of like bookstore, and they'd rent movies around here where I live. They went out of business a couple of them, probably about 5 years ago. Most of them did. I think all of them probably did. And what they would do is, when they would purchase these for rent, and they would, of course, leave them in there because they want to have a big back copies of all these movies. Like if someone wants to come in and rent it, they keep them. So a lot of times they would have out-of-print stuff, but it would be for rental, and you never could buy it. It's like, man, that thing's out of print. I want to buy it or whatever. But it's a rental. We won't sell it to you. So when it went out of business, they sold all their rentals, and I picked up quite a few out-of-print stuff there. Or was out of print back then. Some of it might have come into Blu-ray form now, but I don't think none of these Amityvilles, these older ones, or the newer ones, really come into Blu-ray form, because I just don't think most people really cared for them. They don't want to. Later on, somebody might put together a set of all of them together, maybe. I don't know. Usually the first one and the second one are treated pretty good than the rest of them. Nobody really cares about. But like I said, and it's just funny which movies go out of print. It's usually the ones that are lesser known. The ones that really people wouldn't want. But now since they're out of print, people want them because they're worth money. That's just the funny thing. It's like, why is that movie so? People wanting it so bad. Well, it's out of print. It's a terrible movie, but it's out of print, so it's worth a little bit. But Amityville, it's about time. And last but not least, starring Paul Naschy as the werewolf. What is he usually not? Sickening horror to make your skin crawl. Frankenstein's bloody terror. And pretty much the dude, Paul Naschy, I believe, gets bit by a werewolf, and of course he's going to change into a werewolf, so he goes to some doctor that might cure him, but the doctor's wife is a vampire, if I'm thinking right. If I remember this one right, it's a nutty kind of movie, kind of a fun little oddball, and you just get you some popcorn and enjoy the ride, because it's pretty cool. But it's just one of those ones, it's not one of those ones I really look forward to watching all the time, but it's a fun one just to sit back and think, wow, this is a pretty cool movie. Kind of strange, cool movie. But I like it pretty good. And my friend Horrific Nightmares will like it because it's actually a Shriek show. And he collects those. But this one I believe is still out of print from Shriek Show, but I think it might have actually, they come out with some Paul Naschy box sets. I think Scream Factory might have done them. And this one might be on there. I've never checked, really. I just never checked. If it is, please tell me in the comments. That would be kind of cool just to see they actually come out with a Blu-ray copy of it. But, and I got this one at Hastings too. Like I said, I used to go in Hastings. They had the free Wi-Fi, so I'd go in there and take my phone in there. And I would just look up all the oddball movies that I could find. And I'm just seeing if I could find some out-of-print stuff. And at the time I checked this one, it was going for like $100 or something, some crazy number. And I think it was in Hastings for like $6 or $7 or something. Because, they don't, they just sell it for whatever. They don't actually check if it's out of print to see if it's going for anything. So I got it really cheap. I grabbed it to make sure nobody else did. This ain't one that I seen that and I wasn't putting it down. But I thought it was pretty cool. Classic hit, Spanish monster, film star, Paul Naschy. So, like I said, he does a good job in all his movies. I like him pretty good. He's a good actor. But some of his movies, like I say, are just a little odd. They're kind of funny and cool. But and I couldn't get over this cover. That's what drawed me to it. I seen that and I said, man, that's cool. Even if it isn't even, out of print or anything, I'm going to grab this one because the cover's so cool. But that'll be it for my videos for my rare movies. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching.